to sunny South Florida. Today we're at the famous Haulover Inlet to do a full performance review and features inspection of the Aviara AV40 OB. You know me, I'm Captain Shelley for Boat Test, but I want to introduce the newest member of our family here at Boat Test, Captain Eric Brandon.
Captain Shelley, thank you very much. Great to be a part of the Boat Test team. It's time to start testing the AV40 from Aviara right now.
The yacht certified AV40 OB has a length overall of 42 feet 3 inches, a beam of 12 feet 3 inches, and a dead rise of 19 degrees. The bridge height of the boat is 9 feet 9 inches, and the draft is 3 feet 8 inches with the V12s in the down position. The boat has an empty weight of 23,800 pounds, and with the fuel tanks at 65% and 4 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 26,000 pounds. Our test AV40 was equipped with twin Mercury V12 600 horsepower engines, which is the only option, but the only option you need for this boat. All right, wide open throttle.
Wide open throttle, baby. Yep. We are wide open.
The twin 600s were turning the Verado 12 stainless steel propeller with a 17.4 inch diameter. And when rotating at 6,300 RPM, our test boat topped out at 55.1 miles per hour. 4,500. The best cruise came at 4,500 RPM and 37.6 miles per hour. It was at that speed that the 49.9 gallons per hour fuel burn translated into 0.7 miles per gallon and a range of 242 statute miles, all with 10% left in the 357-gallon fuel tank. During the acceleration tests, we reached planing speed in an average of 4 seconds. With the throttles pinned, we continued to 20 miles per hour in 7 seconds, past 30 in 10 seconds, and 40 came and went in 15. You know, I have a little bit of a history with Aviara.
Yeah.
I took out a 2020 back in 2021, and that was the AV36. It had the triple 300s on the back. That boat, it handled really well too, but I can see the evolution, you know, from the 36 to the 40, and even some of those finer points in the 28, you can tell that Aviara has really paid attention to detail throughout the growth of the brand.
Now, today's my first turn with the V12 600 Mercury. They made this boat jump up on plane within seconds. We're doing some tight turns at wide open speed today, showing some of that Mastercraft DNA as far as the way the boat hugs the water. The ride offshore and some of that snotty stuff we had today, those babies pushed it. The boat handled it great. We had a mighty impressive day.
Well, what better place to start this walkthrough than right here on these fold-out terraces? The Aviara AV40 has a beam of 12 feet 3 inches, but with these platforms out, we're at 18 foot worth of beam. That's huge. I mean, this is an expansive terrace. The high gunnels on this boat lends to just how expansive this turns out to be. Under my feet, I have storage for fenders. Looks like there's another one on that side. I like that they've done flush toggle switches for the terraces up and down, and I see a button for entry lights over here as well.
Now, some of the points I've got for you, some really fun things. The patented bar stools, which come up here, by the way, and you get up here and you sit on one and you've got an amazing view off the back of the boat, side of the boat.
But you can also raise them up and sit facing forward. Kind of gives you a couple of different heights and vantage points to kind of carry on different conversations while you're cruising along.
We have the sunshade keeping us nice and cool in the South Florida sun, by the way. I'm a big fan of sound. You've got the Klitsch audio on board with 10 speakers total. You have one behind you. I've got one here.
Another thing that I noticed is we've got double entry on both sides. I don't see where I would have to ask anybody to move if I'm trying to get under a seat, trying to get into the refrigerators. It's a really comfortable, entertainment forward layout.
Also, Captain Shelley, I have a lot of friends, right, with boats. I'm thinking on the terrace over here. I can actually tie up a vessel to it.
Yeah, there's 3 cleats along both sides so that you can really raft up very easily and have easy access on and off the platforms. Coming into the cockpit, I just really noticed the styling throughout. They have this custom pattern, they call it the Versailles pattern in all the sea deck. It really flows throughout the entire layout of the boat. One thing I like that they've hidden all of your fill tanks, so you got gas on both sides, water is all hidden, so it's not obstructing those clean lines of the boat. The upholstery has a couple of different textures to it, and I like that it's curved, has a little bit of lumbar support. You can also see that they've added extra height to the foam right under the knee so that you really feel seated in the seats. I also like that these are grab rails, but they don't look like grab rails. They look like they have an artistic flair to them. So many cup holders, there's charging underneath, and there's 2 inductive charger cubbies for your phone under that. That's a pretty cool little feature. Eric, let's look at this wet bar.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm in the fun zone. The gourmet wet bar. Lobster tails, maybe a couple of cheeseburgers over here, maybe a nice ribeye on this one over here. Down below, I'm storing all my goodies. I've got 2 refrigerators and freezers down below my top here. Now, underneath this particular panel right here, you can have a pop-up television on your boat right here. Now, next to it, freshwater sink, and of course, a cutting board.
Great place to cut up limes for the drinks that are stored in the cooler that hides away down below. And all of this under this expansive hardtop.
Shelley, I'm so glad you mentioned the hardtop. I tell you right now, it's a blistering hot South Florida day with this wide top and great breeze blowing through. I'm feeling great. Also very ingenious, I think, is integrating 4 of the 10 Klitsch speakers into the top itself, so you got surround sound everywhere going on. You got courtesy lights happening. Again, as I'm walking forward, I see other options with the top.
Yeah, as we move over here to the helm, there's a push button. This sunroof opens up to an expansive 75 inches. Well, let's not open it up all the way. It's hot down here in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of manufacturers will do a canvas top up there. I like that they've done a solid fiberglass piece. When I'm out running a boat, I really like to pay attention to the sound coming out of the hardtop. Sometimes they can sound flimsy, but this one sounded solid. And talking to Aviara, I got to learn a bit more about how they construct these hardy hardtops. There's billeted aluminum all throughout, all behind the scenes that you can't even see. You can see some of the supports, but I was really impressed with this hardtop. That's a great transition over here into the helm. Starting from around centerline, we have the display that controls pretty much the entire boat, all the systems, your audio, and all of your ambient lighting, all RGB colors. Centerline above the tilt-based steering wheel, we have a 19-inch Simrad screen, another smaller one up to the top right that displays all of our gauges. Our Lenco trim tabs are off to the side, and another one of those inductive phone charger cubbies. I still have some tactile buttons for all the important things, your horn, your navigation lights. And then all the way over to starboard, I have our digital throttle controls, joystick piloting for outboards. In this helm seat cubby, I've got access to my VHF. There's auxiliary power down there, and I have a button to move this seat forward and aft. I've got cup holders everywhere, but down below I have 2 chilled cup holders for the captain. That's a nice touch. And there's a small vent here to keep me at the captain's seat a little bit cooler. Now this triple wide helm seat is ingeniously designed. I like that they've done a split on the bolster, so if me as the captain, I want a bit of a better vantage point, I can stand up, but my guests are still seated. And that really opens up my view of this expansive wraparound windshield. To add to the versatility of this space, you can flip up both bolsters and put down these step stools. So if I'm in the seated position, I'm ergonomically comfortable, but I can stand and increase my visibility. Looking under that big windshield, I see 2 more Klipsch speakers and a sunlight for the cabin down below. Looking around the size of this boat, I do not expect there to be a very big cabin down below, but I was pleasantly surprised. Let's go check it out.
Shelley, you're right. There's so much natural light coming through here with this large window above my head. Also to my side here, another look-through window as well. So a lot of natural light, nothing else needed.
This really is a well laid out cabin. So you have your aft berth, a traditional queen size bed, so you don't have to go out and find those oddly shaped seats. You have a private head compartment with a pull-out wand for a shower. It's air conditioned in there. It's actually cooler in there than it is here in the cabin. There is a table insert that can go in here, and so you have over 7 feet of lie-down space, but I like how they've also configured it so that this can be a seat or even a chaise lounge for just hanging out in the nice air conditioning. They have storage over there to starboard.
a standard 43-inch TV on board. Got a refrigerator included as well to keep your cool beers. Again, down below, more storage for your food, etc. Kind of a nice, full featured boat. You got the lighting, you got the AC, you got the head, you have the TV, the table, and a microwave, I might add.
Up above, I see an additional clip sound bar for the TV, but you can tie it in up above to the sound that's out on deck. Those RGB lights transferred down into here too, so you can really set the mood if you want to. And there's another one of those full boat displays, so you can control everything from down here as well.
I like all these controls.
I do not believe that is only 89 degrees outside. It is way hotter than
No,
that.
it's 189.
189. All right, I know it's nice here in the air conditioning, but we should probably go tackle that bow.
It's 9,000 degrees outside right now, okay? I tell you what, in honor of you being a lady, how about you go out in the heat first, okay? And I'll follow you.
All right.
Shelley, walking towards the bow area, we measured this earlier, nice wide space, 24 inches wide. You're deep inside the bow area, being 40 inches high to the top cap. And again, seating and more seating everywhere.
Walking forward, I noticed the second of the two subwoofers on board. I like that they've covered it with an acrylic piece that matches the gel coat. There are two more speakers up here and a remote unit for the stereo. I know that there are a couple of zones on this boat, so if we want to kind of rock out up here, but the people behind the helm want to keep it a little bit quieter, I like that they've added that functionality.
I've had something called the hurt zone before getting on a boat, especially on the bow. When the grab rails are mounted on top of the gunnels, I have hurt my feet, my toes many a time, not on the bow of this boat. The grab rails are inside, they're stylish, they're functional, out of the way.
And we have plenty of cup holders. That cushion underneath there is a integrated cooler. It is insulated, so it's gonna keep that ice nice and cold. There's storage underneath a couple of additional seats. And all the way forward under you, Eric, we've got the windlass. There is a freshwater washdown hose in there, and I like that they even have a receptacle for the winch handle. Most places, they just put an ugly little bucket in there, but they actually have a dedicated space to keep that handle.
Well, let's thank Shelley being in toasty South Florida, being 98,000 degrees today. You can actually get the optional sunshade for the bow.
Yeah, we probably should have busted that out before we started the shoot.
Would have been nice.
All right, Eric, now that we are safely back at the dock,
Hey, what'd you bring me here?
a little bit of luxury on the Aviara AV40 for you.
Thank you very much. My first boat test on a very luxurious yacht. I must say that being with Captain Shelley, she just eeks of luxury, by the way, and class and sophistication. But again, being part of the boat test team really is special to me. This boat, this test was super special, and I'm so glad to be a part of this cruise. So anyway.
Welcome to the team. Cheers to life always being better on a boat.